I already started the podcast while you were getting your headphones on.
Oh, okay. Hi. What was my intro?
Just kidding. Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's November 16th, the year of our Trump 2016.
Correct.
Okay. I knew we were going to start replacing stuff with that. I just didn't know if we started it. I'm Ryan Miller. He's the most introed man in Zero Hit Points history, Matt Amberg. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? I know it says no.
You're right.
No election talk right here at the top. Somebody wrote that. I know it says that. Last week when we recorded, the election hadn't happened yet.
It had not.
But you wouldn't know by listening to the beginning of that podcast.
No.
Because by the time I had started editing it, the election had happened. And it was like I was listening to a past future prediction,
just a simpler time
or something. I don't know. We were the world seemed so bad then, and we had no idea.
yeah. I haven't talked about the election a whole lot with anybody, and I don't. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
It says no election right there.
Yeah, and that's why can't talk about it.
If you were to talk about something, anything, forget everything. How have you been? What's up?
So first of all, let's get something right out front here. This is going to go downhill. It started going downhill. Like at no point was there anything good happening. And it started because Ryan just got back from the dentist.
No election talk. It says at the top.
I know, but you just got back from the dentist. So I imagine...
Oh, you were talking about something else.
Yeah, I imagine you're just a little dopey from dentistry.
That's hard to tell.
Dopey from dentistry, the Ryan Miller story.
They didn't dope me up. I don't get anything ever. My teeth are...
immaculate?
Eternal.
Did they concept?
Other little teeth?
Immaculate, yeah. Do you have like a whole mouth of teeth?
I guess I wish, yeah.
Do you have a whole mouth of teeth?
Keep coming in. It's horrifying. That's not a bad premise, actually. We should work on that.
Okay.
Teeth are good. Teeth are an easy... It's a cheap horror. Teeth. Just go to the teeth.
There's a movie called Teeth.
There is.
Have you seen
no
the movie
election
Teeth?
talk? No. I know. I was at Sundance that year. I didn't see it.
Were you really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that movie. That's actually a really good flick. It never gets like gory or weird to the it's weird just the premise. I
was gonna say.
Yeah. So I did not watch that movie this weekend, but I did watch The Gift. My wife loves this friggin' movie. We've seen it so many times in the past year. I told you about this yesterday, actually. I mentioned
you did. I had never heard about the movie before you said you had seen it many times.
Which is pretty cool because this is actually a movie I think you and your wife will actually really dig. It's a Sam Raimi flick. The car absolutely shows up. It's pretty much the main mode of transportation in the film. It's got a great cast. Kate Blanchett is the main character. Hilary Swank, Giovanni Ribisi, Keanu Reeves, Greg Kinnear, Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes. I mean, she's not good ever, but Katie Holmes pre-crazy Tom Cruise. So
okay.
yeah.
Well, if anything, she's more like I just feel like bad for her after Tom Cruise.
I mean that's a whole different situation.
It's almost more relatable. Like, oh, she's human. She got taken advantage of. Let's leave her alone.
She's pretty good in this flick, actually. Everybody actually pulls their weight in the flick. Gary Cole has an awesome, tiny, a really short little bit, but it's a really pivotal role. And it's a great flick. It centers around small town, a murder. And Kate Blanchett runs she's a fortune teller, for lack of a better term, but she does truly actually have a gift. She doesn't. Okay. And so the movie kind of plays out like a mystery in her seeing who died or who's going to die or where they're going to die. And it kind of just, it's a really great flick. I don't want to give too much away because it's one of those movies that you want to go in kind of with as little knowledge as possible. So Keanu Reeves is a redneck.
Well, see,
Nick
I knew
Stahl.
nothing before,
Nick
and now
Stahl
I
is
know
in
you're
it.
giving me too much knowledge.
Nick Stahl's in it when he was like 11, so that's funny. It's a good flick. I like it.
Okay, so that it's a good flick that you're thoroughly sick of.
I'm pretty sick of it. Yeah, you know, but I do recommend you guys should check it out. It's a good flick. It's a good horror movie.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Sam Raimi. It doesn't look like a Sam Raimi movie.
I've been a fan.
That's
really?
it.
None of his.
It doesn't.
No quick zooms.
Nope.
No. Huh.
No. This is closer to For Love of the Game.
Okay.
With Kevin Costner.
That's all right. So I can see this instead of that movie and be fine.
No,
okay.
they're very different movies. Both equally Sam Raimi made.
Any way I can not see For Love of the Game? That's all I'm interested in right now. Is there?
Yes.
Is it as bad as the title sounds? Am I just gonna
actually,
like if I don't have a spiritual connection with a sport
again?
I gonna?
Yeah, it probably won't. It probably won't hit you. That probably won't do much for you. I think it really does. You could equate it to other hobbies, but it does kind of. It's a surprisingly good baseball movie, also starring Kevin Costner because he only likes baseball.
Yeah, no, he.
I want to see Kevin Costner in a hockey movie. He should have been in Goon 2 and get his face punched off.
I feel like then he's just taking work from Kurt Russell. We both don't want that to happen.
Nobody wants that to happen. Although, man, if Kurt Russell was in Goon 2, that would be cool. There's a movie called Goon. It's a hockey movie. There's a movie coming out called Goon 2, and Kurt Russell's unfortunately not in it.
I know. I just can't. I can't take anything from you that's like if Kurt Russell were in that, it were better. Because I know you'd say that. There's not disqualify that statement. What movie would you not prefer Kurt Russell was in some capacity at all?
Escape from LA. Except I don't want that movie to exist. So that's
was okay. Fair enough.
Suck it.
All right.
Take that, shenanigan. All right.
Okay.
So what did you do? Did you watch any movies? Please tell me you watched a movie.
I didn't know. Check this out. I'll go movie list. I've been redoing a lot of stuff at the house. I got a new router because we all know that was fun for a while.
Mm-hmm. That was real good for streams. Loved it.
It turns out there's a thing called a tri-band router. Because public service announcement. I don't know how deep we got into this when I was having the biggest issues because I didn't want to talk about them to anybody.
No, you didn't.
But there was a point in time where my office, even where it's at, is kind of at the edge of the 5 gigahertz radio on my router. I have an Apple router, the AC new one or whatever. It turns out though that my laptop and my Xbox One prefer opposite ends of the channel bandwidth.
Okay.
And for a router that was trying to do all that automatically, it just ended up dropping the signal and being like super. This is when I was taking my router back to Apple and being like, it's broken. They're like, it's probably not broken. Here's a new one. Try this one. I'd be like, you're right. It works the same. Not broken. It fighting for those opposite ends of the channels.
I love the internet.
Screwed up that signal.
Let me on the internet.
It was super awesome. So for anybody having similar problems,
yes,
Xboxes like channels that are large, whereas my computer does not. Apparently.
I like big channels, and I cannot lie.
So it turns with this tri-band router, each one gets its own 5 gigahertz radio. So I'm kind of set up so far, so good.
Dude, you got gigahertz all over your face. I can see them in the background. They're like little brown triangles. Wait, those are farts. Farts are little brown triangles.
Yeah, that's fair. Are you looking at a map?
Fart particles.
So anyways, I'm happy that went over smoothly, and we're using it at this moment, and it looks you look great.
You look okay.
And then I figured I'd go get I got a 4K TV a while back. It might have been. I don't remember if we were doing the show yet. I think we were.
What is the show?
Costco has a thing. Any TV give you a year manufacturer warranty. Costco pegs on another year. If you buy it with an American Express card, used to be, which they don't have. They severed that, so whatever. You could get a third year on it. So I'm in our third year of the TV. It's done a couple buggy things. It's not unusable by any means, but it's done enough things that, number one, I think I can get a replacement for it. So kind of like,
Taking
Why
advantage.
not?
Why not? Yep.
But the other thing is the last TV we had did the thing where it was kind of going out like 6 months before or maybe even less than that, before the warranty was up. So we got it worked on. They fixed it, and then it went out several months after the warranty was up. So we fixed it long enough to get screwed on the back end, basically.
That's what you
I
gotta
would
do.
like to avoid that. So in the process with American Express trying to get a refund on this thing, which I think they just do as an insurance claim. So I might end up just getting like reimbursed and not have to give back the TV. I don't know. It's all I'm pie in the sky right now.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. I hope you get $1 million.
Well, so it's enough that I should have definitely gone and bought a new TV. So I went and bought a new TV, a new Samsung TV. And the only reason I mention this is because it has HDR, right? So I was like, oh, I can hook this up to the 1S and I'll get all that magical HDR that they say is a thing that exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of rolled back the curtain on that a little bit for me, I think. Because number one, it has HDR. It has HDR 1000 is what they call it. And with TVs, the whole contrast ratio has been more of a Wild West type thing. Like, because they've standardized resolution, 4K when they came out with that term, stuff like that.
Right.
They've kind of standardized. People know what it means when it comes to refresh rate. That's kind of out there. People know that 120 is standard. 240 is the one where it looks pretty zippy. Anytime you walk by a TV and you're like, oh man, that looks like it's being rendered in real time.
Yeah,
or something.
it's also weird looking.
Yeah.
It's what
Which
you see
get
in
used
every
to,
store.
and I've come to prefer like big time because you do get increased resolution and graphics on games, stuff like that. Anyways, the contrast ratio thing has been kind of up in the air. So it hasn't been since its HDR thing has been coming around that it's been somewhat trying to standardize itself. And then Xbox and PlayStation have grabbed onto it. So they're starting to release consoles that have this function. Well, pre-compatibility with this thing, HDR was just like, it was just a high dynamic, like it says, high dynamic range, high contrast, right? You get really bright whites and you get really black blacks. So my TV does that, but the Xbox One S doesn't recognize it as supporting its HDR capabilities. So I'm beginning to realize that there's got to be obviously a hardware aspect to this that I don't necessarily understand. It's a one-to-one. Like if the TV needs to support this standard that the Xbox and PlayStation 4 are outputting, and I think they're calling it HDR 10 or Dolby Vision or something like that.
Dolby Vision.
Which when I was in the store picking this thing up, I saw some sets are starting to feature that. Like they got a sticker on the box about that now. So, but my TV still does that. It still does HDR stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how much, and the reviews are out and people have been doing comparisons. So there's stuff you can put your hands on out there about what these new features do exactly.
Right.
But I'm kind of wondering how much of it is snake oil at this point with my new set that isn't supported, but is just high contrast and looks fantastic for it. So
I don't know, but I love snake oil.
Yeah, I guess that's the lesson to be learned here.
Hey, thanks for that edition of Tech Talk with Ryan Miller. Next week, more on the HDR, more on that Xbox One S, but continuing on with the show.
Yeah, I guess we can just talk about games or something.
You zoned in on that. Like I watched your eyes pinhole into focus mode.
I have no memory of the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, you blacked out. It was great, man. You would have been fantastic on the Kim Commando show.
Hey, you know what? Veterans Day. I respect. Thank you for your service,
Thank
Kim
you.
Commando.
I don't think she was in the service, but my dad was.
Also Kim.com.
I like that his last name is .com. I don't like that the guy from 30 Rock's name isn't .com.
Or anybody's. Or Kurt Russell, again, for that matter. KurtRussell.com.
See, I don't want Kurt Russell to be a .com.
You don't? Well, come on.
Kurt's
That's a double standard.
He's too unique for the .com.
It's true.
His
He's
hair could have
.org.
a .com.
Yeah, it can. Hey, I only have 2 games on this list. Either you didn't fill it in, or we both collectively only played 2 games this week.
We collectively only played 3 games this week because this list isn't filled out fully from your side either. So suck it!
Not filled out fully from my side. What are you talking about?
No.
Do I need to refresh this? Did you do anything to this agenda?
No, I have not touched the agenda, but you clearly... Well, I don't know. Did you update? You said you only have 2 things on there. There were 3 games that we played last week.
Oh, you're right. I just didn't list a game.
Being with you, girl, is like being low. Hey,
relax. We haven't got the lightning round yet.
Forza Horizon 3, my friend. I've been playing the balls out of it.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to list 2 games.
You suck so badly at it.
Forza Horizon 3. I did. We finally dug in. It was I don't know if you want to give out that information.
Yes.
It was a celebration.
It was Sliptide's birthday celebration on Friday night. It was not his actual birthday,
Sliptide.
but we did. We celebrated him, his music,
maker
his life.
of fine podcast theme songs and the like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we played a whole bunch of Forza online.
You played a whole bunch. I apparently didn't install the game as early as I thought I had. So I listened to you guys play a whole bunch. And it sounded like you were having a great time.
We had a pretty good time. It was a lot of fun.
By the time I got in there, we played for like 20 minutes and then we switched.
Yes.
But tell me something about Forza Horizon 3. I liked what I got to so far. I think I got to like level 3 so I could play online, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
totally cool.
The game's great. I mean, I can totally see how I've had to. So for the past week or so, I mainline the hell out of it, and I'm at the point now where I recognize I am going to burn myself out on it, so I'm taking a step back because it is in many ways very repetitive. You're doing a lot of the same style of races. The races, of course, change because the routes are different and all that stuff, but too much of the same thing,
Gotcha.
Like I gotta take that step back. And of course, there's still great variety. I'm still having a ton of fun with it, getting new cars and all that. But like I said, it's a lot of the same thing, and it's just gotta take a step back.
Okay. Well, let's take a step back.
Take a breath.
I think you've talked about it last week a little bit. Anyway, I don't want to say anything. I don't know enough about it. I want to know what the drifting is like, and I haven't got that far, so I don't think I should talk about it.
I did. One of the so as you level up, you get a wheel you get a spin you can spin from, and you can get cars from it and points, money. One of the cars I got was actually a Forza Horizon specific car. So there are the universal cars that kind of exist as like, the Dodge Charger, and you can get that car and you can upgrade it and you can tune it and do whatever you want to it, and it's just a regular Dodge Charger. But there are also pre-tuned Forza Horizon versions of certain cars, and they give you bonuses for specific things, and the one I got is actually specifically for drifting. And
nice.
It's better. It's hard, man. The drifting thing. So, out of all of the events and things you can do in the game, the thing I dislike the most are the drifting challenges.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just not fun for me. It's not fun for me because it's hard. It's really difficult for me to, in any game, figure out a car and how to even get remotely decent at that kind of drifting. And in this, you are oftentimes, like the way that the courses are laid out, it doesn't click for me how to keep speed and get enough points. Like you do a lot of slowing down and trying to catch back up. And if you turn around on the course, it kills the thing. So you have to restart it. Okay. So you have to go all the way straight through. You can go off the course a little bit, but even that there's a range to it. You have maybe 25, 30 feet in any given direction before it kills it and you have to restart it.
Huh.
Which is not a huge deal if you can drive, but I can't.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be interesting.
I think truly it comes down to a few things. One of them being the car choice. I'm probably not using the best cars for it. And the drifting one I've only used like once, and so I don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah, and I think I'm I think I've been chasing drifting ever since Burnout Revenge, basically, because I think that may have perfected it, honestly. So
I don't know. I think Paul Walker and Vin Diesel could have perfected it.
That's fair. You're right. Dang it. I'm a disgrace.
But only Vin Diesel, and just for a second.
But that didn't last long for me, and we did move on to something that made us all cry with laughter.
Possibly the biggest surprise out of nowhere for me this year, game wise. Like I did not see this coming out of anything. This especially this, just no relation to anything. There's been no talk of a Tron movie forever. Tron is not a thing, and then suddenly Grand Theft Auto's let's put a Tron mode in the game, and it's awesome.
And what do they call it?
Deadline, I think.
Deadline. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great
because if you hit the line, you die.
It is possibly the best thing they've added to GTA Online. It's
a really freaking fun multiplayer mode, man.
Yeah, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's Tron, but on GTA motorcycles. So it's a 1v3 basically. So everybody versus everybody. Nobody has a team.
4-player free for all.
That's a better way of putting it.
Okay.
I like that. 4-player free for all. Free for all is free for all. I like it.
Sure, we're all happy.
Yeah, free for all. You've got a motorcycle. On the back of the motorcycle leaves a light trail that eventually slowly dissolves. If you touch the light trail on top of it, if you run into it, you explode. You have X amount of lives. Obviously, it's a survive basically.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of boosts. There's a jumping boost that lets you bunny hop. There's a time boost that slows everybody down. And there's a boost that just makes you shoot forward, and it's the most fun way to cut somebody off with them having absolutely no recourse.
It's really good, man. We should highly consider pausing the Gears streams to maybe get a little bit of that in. Or maybe we add a stream. We've talked about adding a stream, actually.
We have.
This could be our inaugural stream adding. It's a freaking blast.
It is.
That game is awesome.
Yeah, so we got to play with Sean, Sliptide also, and new friend Craig. How did you enjoy it?
No, it's super good, man. There was I literally cried laughing. Because it doesn't change the GTA physics at all. It's still, it doesn't restrict how you move. You're just riding a bike. If you crash into somebody, although I guess maybe that's how they change it, because I feel like if you crashed into something at high speed before, it would throw you off the bike.
Yes.
If you crash into somebody, it'll bounce you up in the air real weird. Like you can fly off geometry kind of weird sometimes, but it makes it amazing because the times that happened to me, I would narrowly avoid death because of it, or be able to use it. There's one clip on my Xbox right now where we did run into each other, and where I was headed straight for your line, but because I hit you, I think it was you, maybe it was Kumar, I can't remember. It popped me up into the air, but in a floaty type way. So while I was in the air, I just turned 180 and then landed back so I could drive the other way. And while I was driving the other way, right next to my own line, narrowly avoiding death, the other guy that hit me died just before I hit my own line and died as well. But still, I was dying, man. And there was another instance like that with me and you. I can't remember, but it was really good.
The other thing that I think is that they did a great job with is you always have to be moving. You can't stop. You literally can't stop
because your line piles up on you and you explode.
And if you get bumped into a wall and can't get away from the wall quick enough, you will die from it.
I did so many times.
It's
too. Just
really funny.
Junk. Yep.
Loved it.
Really good.
And then we Gears of Horde more for wars.
Yeah, man. We've gone into this from plenty of different angles, plenty of different times. I think. My promise to you, because you stuck it out. I feel like there was a point we started playing Horde. I wasn't thinking going the full 50. I was thinking because we're still kind of figuring out ways to game the Class XP system, what we can do to make that go a little faster because it is still painfully slow. And see if there's anything we can do to make it worth our time, because at this point it goes so slow it kind of just feels like a waste of everything. So I started it we started public. You were with me. We lost the guy after round 10, like always happens. And then what was that? Was it after
20? Then we lost
20. Was it 20?
30,
we lost everybody else.
30,
so it was me and you for the rest.
Yeah.
We got to like 34. This is the thing, though. Those two guys, they backed out. Whatever. I mean, on the one hand, you can't expect puppies to stick around for 50 waves for 4 to 5 hours while you play a game that will not give them any experience in return. So that's cool. These guys banked their money before they went too, and they didn't spend it on garbage while we were playing.
They were really cool about that, actually.
So that's kind of cool. Yeah, we ended up having like 100K when they left, just banked. So I was like, man, if we can get to, I think at first I thought 45, but then we started getting scared. If we can get to a lower level or a higher level, we can just spam our legendary cards, which I've got a legendary card for Sniper Strike with my sniper class that just automatically kills 3 enemies on the board with headshots. You got a legendary card for Mortar Drop, which basically just, it seems like it chooses the area that's most densely populated and then drops a mortar on there.
And it's actually a couple of mortars too, which is the best part. There's some spread to it. It's not just one mortar.
Yeah. So we had some cards, and I was like, man, if we can just get up a high enough level, we can breeze through 47 through 50 just using these cards. So at that point I was into it. It's sunk cost, right? I think I even said this last time or something like that. It's basically, we're so far in. I'm so far in. And at one point you were like, man, I'm sick of this. I got to go. And I'm like, go, man. I don't blame you. Like, get out of here. Like, I'll stick around. Because I'm already in for all of it, and we've never been able to do 1 through 50 in one sitting because the game sucks so much. So.
And then I couldn't go.
And then you couldn't go, man. You stuck around. You cooked dinner while you played.
I did. It was.
Too, I'm sure. Was your wife into that? Was she over it?
No, thankfully we finished and she still hadn't gotten home yet. So I had she got home like 15 minutes after. So I was.
Yeah, no, we were going to dinner with my folks and my brother in town. So yeah, she actually wasn't over it. Like we finally finished. Spoiler alert. We actually completed it. Right as she was like loading the kids up into the car, like to go to dinner. So I was like, man. This is the one time it's actually worked out like perfectly. But so yeah, we got up to like 45, and again we hit a bump. There's a definite difficulty increase, yeah. Unspoken difficulty increase around. Maybe it's just number of enemies or something like that, which I guess obviously it is, huh? The enemy count is always going up by level.
Yeah, but they spike. Like, because once you get past the 5, it seems to get a little easier until you hit like 8. Then 8's really hard. Then 9's fine, and then 50 is always, a toss up because you don't know what boss you're gonna get.
It's not the first time this has happened to us. Like, something happens at 45, 46, and we had to use some money to get past those levels. We got past them, and now we're playing the game where we have 160K, and we're like, okay, we know that if on a random, you can start up a level at 41, and it'll give you 40K, and you can basically kill the entire level with, this is one of the boosting methods out there, with that 40K to get past that one wave. So basically we're at the point trying to figure out how much money we need to breeze through those last levels without screwing ourselves, right? Because if we go too early, we spend all of our money and we get screwed because we can't.
Then we get and then we have to decide, do we sit on level 50 and re-accumulate money, or do we can it?
Which we talked about, that's where we got stuck last time, and the grind is not worth it. The return on the grind is garbage.
Yes.
And it's a waste of time.
And if you're just tuning in, once again, Gears of War is amazing.
Is that the message we're taking away from this?
This game, like,
it's a weird thing, right? Because we're hating life in the moment. I mean, even looking back, like, honestly, I never want to do that again.
No.
And do not let me do that again.
I won't.
Okay, I won't let you. You don't let me.
No.
This is, if I'm considering going to, like True Achievements, something like that, setting up a session, getting 5 people that I know won't leave at any time, that's probably a pretty fun experience that doesn't last 4 hours, Maybe, yeah. And that is the other thing. No hyperbole. It was 4 hours. It took us 4 hours. Yeah. Anyways, we did it. We all in one sitting, finally. On one map. 1 of 10 or whatever, if you actually want to go for that thing. Gears of War 4.
Yeah. Hey, we got Gears codes.
Oh, we do.
Gears codes.
We got Gears codes. That's good inside joke from PAX 2016.
Also, my favorite part of the inside joke, not from PAX 2016, is the fact that every week for the past few weeks, we've had a thing in the agenda, big letters that say give away a code. And every week, Ryan,
it never works.
The way Ryan goes through the agenda, like he's banking on me to mention it. And I think, oh, he'll get to it. And then by the time he comes, like where I think it's going to go back, I get sucked into a different conversation and totally forget about that line altogether. But this time.
So here's us not forgetting about it. Yeah.
We got Gears codes.
And what happened last week was we did that, forgot, and then I was editing the cast away from home, so I couldn't even put it back in after the fact like I have been doing. So took a break on codes. Here's a new code. Speaking of Gears, here's a code for probably, if this works, Gears of War. The original Gears of War for Xbox 360. Backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Yeah.
The code is GH77Y T3K2D PK9VV JTP WRMYDYZ. Once again, that's GH77Y T3K2D JTP My Dice.
My Dice.
Just type that in. You get yourself a copy of Gears of War 1.
Yeah, it's going to be on your Xbox.
And call it good. You know what? You'll be fine with that. Gears of War 4 that's just go to town.
Okay, moving on. Now, I have been dying to talk about Titanfall's campaign with you. Finally, you have a good chunk of it under your belt. Did you finish it, actually?
No, I finished it. Yeah,
nice.
I burned through that. Yeah, I mainlined
okay.
it. I wanted to be done by today.
I hate the ending of that. Outside of that, though,
you
loved
hate
it.
the ending of Titanfall 2.
I really don't like it. Not a huge fan. By the way, bleep that F word. Do not take it out. You bleep it. That's important.
It's all in the moment. I never know how it's going to go.
Yeah, no. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to spoil the campaign. It's going to happen right at this point in the podcast, the spoiling for Titanfall's campaign. I hate the cliffhanger of the, and that not even not even the cliffhanger.
Okay,
it's not the cliffhanger.
Yeah,
it's
right,
the stupid stinger at the end. I hate the fact that I just hate the fact that the minute the game starts, the moment it started, I was like, knew it even before the game started. When the game came out, the game was announced. I knew that the moment they gave the stupid Titan a personality, they were going to kill it. They have to. It's going to happen. Not only do they kill him once, they kill him twice. Kind of. And the second time, like, the first time I was like, fine, okay, great. It's stupid. He's a robot. He's a card. Okay, great. Okay, he pulled the card out. There it is. That makes sense. He's going to keep the card. He'll put it into a new Titan. It'll be that same Titan. Second time around, the Titan, I'm gonna save us. You've got to die, or you've got to stay alive. So I'm gonna throw you over here. I'm gonna go die for us. So dumb. It's so stupid.
So
the AI
my
criticisms
criticisms
saves the human.
are actually, I think, the same criticisms. Essentially, when we talked about, you
cheesy.
did predict that they were going to kill the AI, and it was going to be like, no, he survives by way of. I think they actually handled that well because they didn't lean on it too hard. Like, you're right, the Titan gets exploded, and the dude is able to pull out his memory and then
personality,
plug it into another
basically.
Titan.
Yeah.
Number one, they don't hang on that. They do it right away.
They don't. They do.
So that was cool. It does kind of bleed into. Like they might have laid it on a little thick with the AI stuff. Like they very immediately give that Titan a personality and very immediately have your character treat him as a person. And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
they
yeah.
give him a bunch of lines that are like, you can say that again, and then the Titan says it again because
right.
he doesn't get it. So that stuff not perfectly handled. Yeah.
And all of that stuff, like, it just solidified more. And I was fine with it in the context of the game. It's the afterthought, though, where I'm like, it's so heavy-handed and it's so cheesy. Like, I like it in the context. In the moment during the game, it's great. But taking myself out of it and thinking about some of that, like, that dialogue, it's just terrible.
Yeah, it didn't. Which... It's strictly speaking of story. You're right. It's not. And then the cliffhanger at the end. Yeah. The main dude throughout the whole campaign, the main mercenary, basically after you kill all of his buddies, character work pretty good though, actually.
No,
I'll say that much. Character work real good.
One of the things, 100% agree. I think all of the Titan, I think all of the IMC guys were pretty well put together. I liked the interactions we had there. All of the mech, the Titan, I guess they were assassins or whatever, I guess.
Mercenaries.
Yeah. You said that.
The bad guys.
Yeah. They were all a lot of fun, especially Rainier Wolfcastle.
Yeah. But yeah, the dude at the end basically just says, "Good job. You've actually respects you for killing all of his followers," and then kind of rides off into the night because his contract is up.
Yeah.
He has no personal investment. This time it isn't personal. Titanfall 3, that time it's
probably going to get personal.
Yeah, it's probably going to get personal. So you're right. That's kind of a bummer ending because he takes off. And yeah, the Titan sacrifices himself to save the day, throws you out of the way, which, I mean, yeah, it does, because it isn't handled very well up until then. It's not the gut punch that they were probably hoping it would be.
Right.
They don't make the case, and I err on the evil side of this, I guess. Like it's still just a robot. Like
Sure.
In the game, you as the pilot are ready to go to your death you're ready to go down with the ship with this dude, and I'm like, no, man. Like it's still just a robot, especially since, yeah, I mean, transmit that AI or something, like whatever.
Look,
I mean,
you're a robot. You can talk.
Get a tri-band router. They're not bad.
That's right there. Ryan can even set you up.
It's just stick it on the top of the
glue
Titan.
it right on
the top.
Right there. He's gonna have
Put it on
all
the
sorts
top.
of signal. He's so high up. What are you doing?
Anyway, so yeah, that actually would have been a pretty cool ending where they're all very upfront about that. Like, yeah, or maybe if you really want a gut punch, make it tenuous. Like maybe he's he's trying to transmit his AI, or his radio's damaged, so maybe he won't, or don't just be like, anyways,
and I kind of think, so spoiler alert, if you, after all the credits and crap, that's basically what it kind of points to.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you knew it was coming. There's if you sit and wait for the stinger after all of the stupid credits, I
think I read something up on that. There's like a Morse code signal that beeps through the light in the helmet. Somebody's figured out what it says already. I'm
sure it has something to do with BT being, I'm here.
I'm not going to look it up. That's
I
for
haven't.
Sure.
No, I haven't looked it up. It's you figure it out on your own if you want to watch it. So barring the story, okay.
Yeah.
So aspects of the story are fine. Most of it was forgetful. I loved that the way they, regardless of what the actual story was, they did a good job stitching together moments to play through.
Yeah.
Tons of fun. And in particular, there were two that stood out, but one entire freaking level. And it was that time travel level. Unbelievable. Yeah. One of the best levels I've played, period, in any game for the past year. That's
also a real great stupid moment because it's only on that level.
Yeah.
Like a few minutes in, you get like a thing you put on your hand, and then it just says press LB to time travel. And you're like, all right, let's do it,
Marty McFly.
And then it breaks by the end of the game, end of that level, and you're back to normal for the rest.
Right, totally. But for the conceit of that one level, it is such a cool mechanic.
They make good use of it, yeah, for
sure. And I'm actually very happy that it was just that one level, because I could get very bored with that. But the level design for that particular level was really tight, really well put together for both the Titan bit where you like that one little Titan fight kind of at the end where you have to switch back and forth. But for the rest of it, like it's mostly just pilot fighting. And that was one of those parts that, so you completed the game on Master, right?
Yeah. And it actually wasn't that bad, man. You should check it out.
I'll go back to it, but that level in particular, the switching part where there's two parts with the dogs. Man, I had a hard time with that on Hardened. That was a nightmare going back and forth because the guys. So you have there are these weird.
I know
dogs
exactly what spot you're talking about. There's like stairs going down into an open area.
Yep.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yep. So there are these dogs that kind of exist in the present day during the game.
They were in Titanfall 1 too.
Yeah. And so you're switching back between these dogs that take a lot of damage and just guys everywhere. And the one thing that they give you to like give you some kind of bearing is when you switch time periods, there are blue dots that like blue like flame things that hover for a moment that tell you where those people are in the timeline. So you can ideally what you're supposed to do is you time travel, you go to a dot, you get behind it, you time travel, kill the guy, time traveled, and bounce around. And that's ideally how you do it. On Hardened, I had a really difficult time with that.
Oh yeah, I did that a couple times, especially with the shield guys. Like you just walk around and then you hit it and you'll be behind them.
Yeah, I did not have a good time with that. But it
that
was fun.
Definitely
it was fun. It was just very hard.
The spot where I got stuck the longest. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it though. But that mechanic, how cool was that mechanic? You know, just out of nowhere.
They used it real well. Yeah, no. And the games, like, these are the set piece guys, right, from Call of Duty. This is kind of what I wanted, and they nail it. Like, they give you pretty much everything. If you play Titanfall 1, you were like, if this was a campaign, I would want these things. All those things are in there. You get like a huge Titan offensive. You get lots of like running off the walls. You get fighting while running off the walls.
The Titan offensive was my favorite part outside of the time travel.
It was cool. When you get levels where you're moving back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
Super fun, man. It's a blast.
It's a great game with a forgettable story.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and tighten up the story a little bit. Maybe it's an overall.
I heard that. Sharp as ever.
Sharp as a tack.
All right, other stuff happened this week that we can talk about.
My birthday. To you. My birthday is December 15th.
Okay, that's definitely didn't happen this week.
Do you know what you can get me for my birthday?
A $10 iTunes card.
Yes.
So you can buy Super Mario Run out December 15th for $10. If you want unlimited access, there's going to be some limited access before that. So you wouldn't pay for this without gift money. Is that what you're saying?
No, I absolutely will. I was just saying it's my birthday, so give me something for free because God damn it.
Oh, I see. It's the same day. Look at that.
Yes. Wow. Wow. The attention to detail at Zero Hit Points is always at the highest.
Well, $10 is like I mean, okay, yeah, it's your birthday, I guess. Whatever. All cares to the wind, man.
My game just got
$10 is kind of on that end, though. Like I was wondering.
Just so you know, Rainbow Six Siege just landed at my door.
Oh, well,
telling you that. No, yeah. Normally you'd be right. $10 would totally be that's at the very high end of those games.
I think I paid $9 for Pac-Man 256 maybe, or whatever that unlock was, $8, and that was like you thought I was crazy.
Yeah, well, I do. But Super Mario Run is probably going to be, I'm guessing, the exception to that rule.
This comes with an extended trailer, and all that stuff looks really good. Like it
just looks great.
It looks like it's definitely gonna be fun. And yeah, I'm probably gonna throw down for that too.
Yeah.
It's the precedence has been set. Like this is. Like you were kind of curious what the price was going to be because Nintendo's kind of been fighting this battle for a while with their own handhelds, like charging $40 for their games there while everybody else is paying $1 on mobile. Well, they're on mobile now and
$10.
You got to figure,
$40 for a little game. Okay, we do $1 mobile games. $10 over here.
Also in that trailer there was something called Kingdom Builder. It looked like you're building the overworld in some way. It looked like. I don't know how much that's customizable or No
Yeah.
other words on that, I don't think. But
I wonder if that's just natural progression and they're just showing that off, or I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know. Nintendo's doing a lot of interesting things lately. between you've got Super Mario Run coming out, which again, like you mentioned, we talked about the Switch a few weeks ago, and then there's the whole NES Classic thing that dropped this past week to gangbuster sales that you can't find anywhere.
Yeah, that thing's gone.
I
actually got a text from a buddy on that day, whatever it was, I don't remember now. He was like, "You waiting in line?" And so I'm immediately, panic mode, like, "Oh, I should be waiting in line somewhere." And
oh my god, what am I missing out on? I need it.
Really, I'm like, "Oh man, I've let everybody down." And he's like, "No, the NES Classic." I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna pick that up."
You're like, "I have one. I've got a Nintendo."
Yeah, I literally have the NES Classic. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess he was not the only one. Everybody else was doing that too, and it is gone. And Nintendo has said that they're going to keep shipping them very regularly, which things can't be freaking expensive or hard to make.
Not even a little bit. This has got to be one of those perfect things for Nintendo. This is another one of those things Nintendo is going to dump out onto the market. They're going to make a ton of money off of in the first year, and then it'll go away, and it won't matter because they won't have lost anything.
Well, so usually when they do that, it's something where you kind of figure maybe they shouldn't. Like, there's no pretense to this thing, which is kind of part of the reason I'm not getting it. They're like, this is just the thing that Atari has been doing for 20 years now. Right. Like, this is just one of those things. They, Do
you remember when those were just a joystick that you plugged in?
Yeah. That was cool. It's still cool. Like, no, I have nothing against the NES Classic. It's just not a good. The thing that intrigues me the most is supposedly the HDMI, like the HD upresing is supposedly bar none. Like, it's better than the Virtual Console. It's better than you'll get on a Wii U. So that part sounds cool. Like, I'm into that. But I also, number one, have my almost every NES game I want. Balloon Fight is on this thing, so I could. But
do you have Ice Climbers?
Also Ice Climbers. I don't. But that was also one I didn't. I played that a few times at my aunt's house.
There's really more of just
like Balloon Fight was like a rental that we kept renting.
Right. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had that one.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I had Ice Climbers. We would swap a lot.
Fair.
Spit.
Anyways, yeah. So Nintendo's having a good week.
They're having a good week. I don't know. If you're interested in an NES Classic as a viewer of this fine program, maybe listen close the next few weeks.
Oh, okay.
You never know what might happen.
Do we got a code for NES Classic?
I wouldn't say there's a code.
Okay, all right.
There may be a box with an NES Classic in it.
Telltale is going to make a Marvel game. We all knew that. Now we know it's for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Telltale? They're going to make a Marvel game.
Yeah, it's news.
Yeah.
Welcome to last year.
Yeah. Hey, it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, though.
It is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know. I just told you that.
Hey, thanks for breaking it.
Yeah. News breakage.
They're going to reveal it, I guess, officially at the Game Awards, which, speaking of which...
Hey, what about them?
See you there.
Not me.
I won't see you there because I guess, are you ever going to go? I feel like every year you're like, I might go to that thing. And then
someday I will.
Okay.
The difficulty generally is that it's the lead time for me is not enough. I need another month of lead time to get a ticket and all that stuff.
That's true. I didn't even know this thing was happening. Like, what did I saw something that was talking about the Game Awards like last year or something. It was like some total chance thing. It wasn't in the news or anything. And I was like, oh yeah, that's like, doesn't that happen around this time of the year? So I did an internet search on, you may have, have you heard of Google? Yeah.
Not familiar.
And it was up. Like, their tickets were already on sale. I don't know when they went on sale. You said they might have been like
they went on sale that
day.
Day. No, they went on sale. Yeah. Whatever day you told me, they went on sale like 2 hours before you told me.
All right.
And I was like, oh, that's fortuitous. You saw because I think when you said I got tickets to the Game Awards or whatever, I responded back by saying, oh yeah, I saw the thing Keeley posted today too. And you were like, what? Oh,
yeah,
all right.
I got better seats than last year. It's the same place as last year, so in LA.
It's fantastic. I am looking forward to your correspondence.
Okay. But yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy will show up there. And it makes sense. It's kind of a good fit, right? It's an ensemble cast. Like,
Right.
it's kind of what.
Yeah, it fits. It fits kind of every other version of their game. I mean, no matter how you look at it, all of the Telltale games are ensemble casts.
Also, I mean, I came in late. Like, I came into Guardians like when the movie came out, but
Yeah,
I really liked that movie. So
yeah, it's a great flick.
cool.
A lot of fun.
Wow. Okay, so it just gets fun from here on out. You ready? So French stock market regulators. I guess, is this the French SEC basically?
You know what? I don't know, but I'll tell you this much: I'm terrified.
Okay, it's the AMF. I'm not gonna say the French words because forget about it.
That's pardon your French.
France's stock market regulator alleges that Ubisoft Montreal is coming from Kotaku here. CEO Yannis Mallet and 4 other Ubisoft executives all sold stock in the weeks before October 15th, 2013, when the publisher announced that Watch Dogs and The Crew would both be delayed to 2014. So it's kind of shocking. Number one, that they're not selling their stocks like right before these games come out, because that's obviously when the stock is going to tank, because after these things come out. Number two, Ubisoft stock is worth money. People will buy it from you. They can sell it.
It's true. This right here is how Ubisoft becomes Vivendi.
You got to wonder if this is part of that. Maybe like if Vivendi's like calling in some favors or
I don't know if I'm going to go conspiracy hat on that. I will. They absolutely are. And Ubisoft is going to be no more in 4 years.
Well, a couple anonymous emails that are like, hey, just look when they bought these, especially since it's from 2 years ago. Like,
well, it takes that long to get
3 years
through.
ago.
Like, that's a lot of look. They got a lot of paperwork to file before you can say, yeah, these guys did it. A lot of things to read, numbers to crunch. You know, those 4-eyed geeks over in accounting got to do something.
What's that? So yeah, that could be fun. We'll see how this pans out.
Once
again, that website is www.weloveubisoft.com.
Yeah, always go to it.
I don't know if you signed up yet.
I sign up every other day with a different Smurf account.
Make sure.
Yeah.
Next up, can't decide if this is better or worse.
You know, I'm gonna go with better
or legally worse. I don't know.
Or legally worse, which is the next Legally Blonde film.
The FBI. Oh man, it probably is. The FBI believes that a group of hackers made millions off a scam to defraud the publisher Electronic Arts.
Okay, so in that respect, it's not a bad thing.
It's like tables are turned, man. Like, instead of EA stealing money from people with FIFA, now we got people stealing money from EA with FIFA.
Yeah, and
tarnishing the good name of FIFA.
Yeah,
sir.
And FIFA's good name definitely not having any mud on it in the past few years. This is fantastic.
Still sounds nuts. Yeah.
These guys went to enough trouble to figure out how to basically ping the EA servers with a small packet that would say, "We played the game. Give me my coins that you get for playing a game online." And they
in-game currency.
Yeah.
Or
and they just did it millions of times. And then if you, like, and this article specifically mentions this, but if you go and Google FIFA coins, you'll find sites upon sites where people sell them.
There's a black market for the coins, which is how they translated all this in-game currency to actual money.
And the feds, of course, you can't keep the money that you illegally, quote unquote,
to the tune of $15 to $18 million.
Yeah, that's like,
of course they did this. Who wouldn't do this?
My point,
when you figure out you can do this.
Look, all I'm saying is that that's not that big of a deal. Come on. If your EA servers can allow, I don't believe.
Also, how does EA how does that not tick some box over there? Raise some eyebrows.
No, yeah. Are you kidding me? Your security is, that's what I'm saying. Is like, like in a real life human being situation, will never victim blame. But in this case, yeah, I'm blaming EA. It's their fault. Whatever. You deserve it.
Best case scenario, there's some dude like looking at the numbers like, man, our online numbers are fantastic. Look at all these games that are just being played. I guess why are these microtransactions that we set in place not necessarily making us a whole bunch of money? I don't know, but community's doing great out there, guys.
Community's fantastic. It's good time, and guess what? We are capitalist scum.
It's okay. You have the are you reading from the transcript over there?
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see how that turns out.
It'll be fun to see how. No, it won't. Last week you questioned the veracity of a claim that I made.
Yeah, no, I do that every week. But
you
sure,
do, but in this particular claim was that Mass Effect Andromeda had multiplayer. You were unsure until I stated, yeah, well, it was listed on the Amazon thing, so it's got to be true. Well, now there's a multiplayer tech test for sign-upping that you can participate in if you sign up it.
Yeah, if you like typing, you sign up for that thing?
You got to use so much words.
There's like 11 steps, and you got to click boxes.
Mm-hmm. I have not.
Did you sign up for that?
No,
serious.
No.
You want? They ask for statements. They ask for your top 3 games of all time.
Yeah. Well, in my top 3 games,
and then they ask if you to talk about it.
I would say it's Ms. Pac-Man, Rygar, and Strider.
See, that's pretty good, I guess. I did not. What did I end up? I ended up with like Portal 2 because I didn't want to spend time on it anyways. So I'm just putting games down. Portal 2, Rock Band 3. And a Call of Duty 4, I think, is what I put.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, see, it's put me on the spot. I just want to play your game for free.
yeah. Don't interview me to get me to play your game. Like, screw you. I'm gonna interview you now. Why the hell should I play your game? Tell me about your
sign
favorite.
up for that.
Tell me about your. I'm gonna have them sign up to talk to me about their game. That's how I feel about them. Screw you and your Mass Effect Andromeda crap. I'm gonna stay in this Milky Way and just be chill. I bet Trump's Andromeda doesn't have this problem.
No, it doesn't. They have
many others.
Last but not least, check out this loser. Guy in New Zealand stops playing World of Warcraft because of an earthquake. At 7.8 even. Dude, like...
Weak.
If you're not a fan, that's all. It's just what I mean.
Look,
there are fans.
The best part of that video is he's freaking out. He gets tossed out of his chair, and you can hear the guys on his stream, like in his ear, that are like, "Nobody cares if you live or die. Shut up. Get your DPS going. What are you doing?" Like, this guy is in the middle of the 7 point. He at one point is like, he screams to his girlfriend. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Very unsympathetic. Yeah, I feel like that might have been the most devastating part of this earthquake, is that he found out that all his WoW friends are just like,
and they're all clearly Aussies,
very
too.
big jerks.
They all clearly live like in New Zealand and Australia. They must. But it did come out that the next day.
Yeah, they were very quick to correct them. No, we do care if you live or die. We definitely do. What, are you playing tonight? What are you doing? Okay.
It's crazy. So funny coincidence, like weird thing about this. And I guess it's not funny, but whatever. So this earthquake in New Zealand happened in Christchurch, and
that's now our new tagline on the website. Like, yeah, I guess it's not funny, but whatever.
Whatever.
0HITPOINTS.com.
This earthquake happened in Christchurch. Like 6 years ago, there was another earthquake that happened. It was not nearly as bad. I think it was like a 4.5, but the epicenter was closer to the downtown
6.3 epicenter closer to Christchurch. Yeah.
Right. So at the time, I had a friend who was living just outside of Christchurch, and had seen all the devastation and stuff, and had mentioned, like, I was talking to him and mentioned all the stuff, and it turned out that this amazing restaurant down the road from us in Seattle called the Herb Farm was going to do a charity dinner. And the dinner they were doing,
I knew this was going to get back to food somehow.
It does,
but that's all right.
And it's going to get good. So the amazing thing about this charity dinner was everything, all the proceeds, including the paychecks of the staff, all of it went to New Zealand, which is a big deal because a lot of times that's not how that necessarily works. So during this dinner, they were doing raffles and they had all these prizes. So they had all this wine because their main wine distributor out of New Zealand. So they had all this wine they were giving away, really nice stuff, and like a day in the kitchen with the chef and all just amazing stuff. So I bought 10 tickets for like $100. I won like 7 of them, including the grand prize, which was the day in the kitchen with the chef.
Jeez.
Now, here's where this gets good. So this place mostly has wine. I don't drink wine. I can't drink wine. It just doesn't fit with me.
Goes right through you.
Another person I was there at the dinner with, also not a wine drinker. So this was this like 9-course meal. So in between the courses, he and I would get up and go to the bar at the restaurant next door, it's like part of the thing, and drink. So we were a little lit, and then we started drinking the wine. And so by the time the last ticket rolls out and it calls, and I'm looking at it and I've got it, and they call my name and it's the grand prize thing. Everybody's quiet. I'm not totally I'm not like gone, but I go, I won again. Suck it, losers. And what you have to understand is everybody else there, very prim and proper, like very upscale, very like nobody thought it was funny except the people at our table. And I'm pretty sure the owner didn't find it humorous either. But I gave money to Christchurch then, and I'll do it again this time.
Did your friend stop playing World of Warcraft when the Quake hit?
No.
Okay, good. Because this dude,
my friend's not a wuss.
Also, he toughs it out for a while. You can see him trying to keep playing while his house is falling apart. Did his internet connection never break? I didn't read that far into the story. Did it?
I don't know. I don't think so, because he leaves and then he comes back, and I didn't watch that far, but he comes back and he's like all shook up and all.
Who does his internet? That's
clearly not the United States.
We'll
definitely not Comcast.
Comcast. Yeah. Okay. Hey, you! It's time for your week at the
lightning round.
So there are several news items during the week that we don't want to talk about for more than 2 seconds. So why not yell them at each other and then make it slightly funny after the fact? Here is your not questions for this week, sir. The PlayStation 4 can now create and share gameplay GIFs.
Shorter form uselessness.
The multiplayer for Watch Dogs 2 will be broken at launch.
www.weloveubisoft.com.
Nintendo announces the end of Wii U production in Japan.
Wow.
Keeping it. In fact, that's probably a right answer. Gone Home is free on PC this weekend. If you like that game, you should check also that out. Maybe, possibly. Overwatch, free to play this weekend. I'm not going to say which game's better between Gone Home and Overwatch, but...
definitely Overwatch.
November 18th, we have Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm guessing people will be interested in that, so I'm mentioning it. Just get the clicks, man. Killing Floor 2. Also, I guess Killing Floor 1 came out not too long ago. Is that a...
Killing Floor 1's been out for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an old game. It's a great, solid game.
I was messing around with
Killing Floor 2. I haven't played it yet.
November 22nd, we get the Amnesia Collection.
So good.
Don't forget.
So good. What? I don't get it.
Don't forget about it. And
is
also
on
the
20th. Is that
on the 22nd, Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
You know, we've talked about that name, and I don't think we should talk about it ever again.
Yeah, there's something I wish I could forget. The Amnesia Collection out November 22nd.
You already said that, don't you remember?
It's an ad. How do you think we pay for the cast?
I don't know. By talking about the Amnesia Collection coming out on November 22nd?
It's next to impossible that I don't play a little bit more Gears of War 4. I'm going to clean up the last of the achievements on Titanfall 2. And I'm thinking I'll just dive right into my next campaign. So maybe Infinite Warfare, or what am I talking about? Call it Modern Warfare. Thank you. yeah, whatever. Let's play video games and talk about them next week on the podcast. What games will you play?
Rainbow Six Siege is at my door right now, so I may break down that. Yeah,
so you did get that.
I did. It was $20 on
They
Amazon.
wore you down.
And you know, here's the thing. We didn't mention this, and the reason we didn't mention it is because nobody plays it, because neither of us play it. But Rainbow Six team Ubisoft announced that they were going to do a full second year of content for it and support. I had been on the fence about the game in the first place. I really wanted to play it. I really enjoyed what we played at PAX 2 years ago. And I know you're not into it, but the game was super fun for me. And at $20 with a whole nother year of content coming, I got to give it a try and see what it's like. No,
that's a good deal. Like it, and we streamed a couple sessions of it when we were doing the beta.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't need to rehash all my reservations about it, but it didn't play as well as I wanted it to play. Right. And in the end, it's a multiplayer thing. So I'm kind of like, especially now with all these games, like there's no way I would make time for something that I just not.
No, yeah, and I get that. I totally get that. I will probably play some more Overwatch this week. The season 2 is ending next week, I believe.
Oh,
so I want to get a few more games in my competitive stuff. I'm not going to get any.
Keep those numbers up, man. What did you top 3 or what?
Yeah. No, I'm in gold, plat, diamond, roughage.
You are. It's good for you.
I hear that eating like a bunny is healthy. So I'll play more Overwatch. The pre-alpha for Hello Neighbor has been getting some updates, and they've been pretty. I've been kind of sitting back on it since that first run through where the game just wasn't stable for me.
Right.
And now it's definitely more stable, and they've added more logic to it. Some more. They've expanded the game a little bit. So I'm probably going to try and dig back into that a little.
Cool. Streamable, maybe.
Possibly. We'll see where it's at. Okay. Like I said, if it's crashing a lot, it's just I don't want to deal with that. Period. And then I'll definitely be playing more Gears, and I'm sure Forza and Titanfall. I've still got that mastery thing, man. I've got to.
Honestly, not. I mean, I have been playing veteran since Call of Duty 2. Like I've been playing the hard mode on Respawn / Infinity Ward shooter since Call of Duty 2. So I get I've. It's just that it's work in the geometry. Like if you figure out where the AI sees you from. Like it's all about just kind of blocking them off barely, like just the freaking fractions of an inch, like getting behind that wall, getting behind it in time, like sticking out. Because I didn't find it that bad. Like you could take maybe 2 or 3 bullets as long as they weren't headshots from a powerful gun or whatever, and still be okay. So you got time to get out there and run back.
There's just a couple of spots that I can think of, like in particular, again, that the one spot where there's a timer where it's survive while the tickers come at you and guys come at you from all over the place, and you basically have to stand up above. You have I don't even know how to explain the level anymore.
It's a big open space, and they're coming out. Yeah, you just got to find a spot. Like find a spot with your back to in a corner, basically. Like there's one I found it by chance. So basically, it's at the top of the stairs at the back. Just stand in the corner, and then you got left and right. All you have to worry about, and you can see him coming from a ways away at a pretty good distance. So I don't know. I might have got lucky on that too.
I don't know. We'll see. These are things where there is definitely a skill gap between the two of us. And I don't know if it's necessarily just skill gap, but there's also a patience gap. So
patience might be patience gap.
Yeah. But we're gonna stream tomorrow, and I think we should skip Gears of War, and I think we should actually do some of the Deadline.
So you would prefer just not even a new streaming night for Deadline, just complete.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean,
let's take a break on Gears and do a little.
I'm good either way. I'm still enjoying the Gears campaign, so that's that's totally cool. I'm fine with however. Whatever.
Okay, well, let's see what happens. Hey, we don't know. That's why we talk about things.
We're just two simple podcasters trying to make our way in a streaming world.
It's deep.